We're back at it again here with another video with Invest for Tomorrow. Until the first time viewers and investors, welcome to the channel. To all the subscribers, welcome back. All I ask for in return is for you to smash that like button to let me know you watch this video. Helps out the YouTube channel and lets me know you appreciate the time and effort I put into making these videos. Now, in this video, we're going to talk about the two top stocks that were once talked about on Reddit. They're still all over the different forums. A lot of eyes are on these stocks, even though they continue to pull back lower, and that is Wish, ContextLogic Inc., and we're going to talk about Clover Health Investments. But before we do and we look at these charts and the key levels to watch moving forward and what analysis price targets have been saying and what to look at as this continues to test newer lows, we are going to talk about the two home runs of the day that were mentioned this morning over at the Discord, and we're going to jump right into these charts. The two home runs of the day were spectacular, guys. This is what we strive for and aim for every single day. The opportunities are out there and we'll continue to find them. If this is something that interests you, I would like to invite you to join us. The link is down below in the description to the Discord, and by joining, you'll become part of a growing community of investors all looking to learn and grow together. So these are the three stocks I mentioned this morning. Two of them turned out to be home runs, and our worst performer was BIOC. That gave us small jumps of 5 to 10%, almost reaching 10 to 15% at its highest point. Now, our home runs of the day were SNOA and NLSP. Let's go ahead and look at these charts and how they performed. So SNOA, we caught this one in the pre-market. It was sitting sideways before it jumped up again, a nice little 3 to 5% jump, pulled back down, and took off to a highest point within 20 minutes after the bell of 30% plus, guys. Pulled back down and gave multiple opportunities of 10 to 15% and 10 to 20% in this second run here after the big pullback. Now, the other stock that we were watching that turned out to be a home run for the day is NLSP. At the highest point of the day, 20% plus. We caught this one a few minutes after the bell. It started to run pretty quickly, pulled back down, and took off for 20% plus. Here it gave a small jump of 3 to 5% from when I started watching it, and gave another 5 to 10% jump here after pulling back from that 20% jump, guys. If this is something you want to become part of, you're more than welcome to. The link is down below in the description to the Discord, and we look forward to having you join us. Let's jump into these charts. So here we are with Wish stock, ContextLogic Inc., WISH stock. Now the stock has hit a new all-time low today, and that is a very important support level, but not even that. Just because it hit that level, I still will use $6 as an important level to watch, because if that gets broken through, this could be on its way down closer to $5, right? I don't know how close. We don't know the bottom. No one knows the bottom, but there's some key levels to watch that can actually show in the charts what is possible, right? And the first thing is the fact that this already broke through 650. It struggled to stay above it. You could see here how it tried fighting early on in the pre-market, how it tried fighting to stay up. Then it fell down here to 640, came back up to 665, hit the 650s, and then after that it was just pure weakness all the way down to the lowest point of the 52-week range, which was 615, 614, give or take. It's currently right now at 628, 627, give or take. If this goes down towards $6, this could get into the fives. How low into the fives? Well, we have an analysis price target, which is the worst one that you could see here out of the whole entire list, and that is a low of $5, okay? Right now it has 9 ratings, 2 are buy, 5 are hold, and 2 are sell. Now, most of them, which is the majority, right, the 7 here are all showing averages of $10 and above. The high here is 19, and this is as of today, as the stock was sitting at 628. So it's super important to be aware that there is upside based off analysis price targets, and they're looking at it for the 12-month forecast, but the lowest price target, which could be fulfilled if the overall markets pull back and overall everything continues to look negative, shaking up investors and not enough volume into Wish stock, it could go towards 5 and possibly even slightly below it. So I do want investors to be aware that this isn't a speculative situation right now. This is part of the tech sector, growth sector, and it's not a SPAC. It was an IPO, but it could fall into that category as well because this IPO'd back last year right, during the whole entire SPAC hype. And then as you saw it falling all the way towards June, it actually fell with all the SPACs. It slightly squeezed, came back down. And I mean, this was fighting since then to try to stay up, came back down, and then it kind of consolidated here. And towards earnings, we are seeing it fall to new all-time lows. Now, a lot of investors are not too worried about these lows, those that are long, but those that were looking for a short-term opportunity, it's the ones that have been hit the hardest. So I want investors to be aware that this was speculative to begin with, and as soon as this became a meme stock, it was something to look at as a red flag, okay? Because a lot of people think that once a stock becomes a meme stock, all the meme stocks go up, and that's not always the case. Now, a lot of investors were comparing AMC and GameStop and CLOV and Wish way back at these levels when this squeeze happened back in June, okay? That was something that a lot of investors were comparing them to because Wish and CLOV were becoming the #1 trending stocks, and they still are from time to time in the Reddit forums, okay? But that was back in June. Now, a lot of investors were expecting that squeeze again. We were looking way back here at this strength, but just because this strength was there, if it broke through 882, it was going into pure weakness. And it certainly happened in the after hours in a matter of minutes. And as soon as it crossed that, it just continued to collapse, try to come back up on Friday last week. And this turned out to be something like what we call it big whales buying big orders because they like these prices, or they were just averaging down, and that turns into a bull trap. I've talked about that a lot of times, to actually watch these jumps if they're real ones or if they're bull traps. Not because they're bull traps that they're fake, but if not, they're not real momentum that can continue to push higher. If not, it's temporary and it's going to come right back down, and it usually tests the same exact spot where it all started, and then it tries to fight, and then it continues going lower as we've seen it, and it's hit new lows. So $6 right now is a huge support level to keep in mind. If that gets broken through, this could go into the fives. How low into the fives, we don't know. Could it break $5? That is possible, but that is not something that I'm really looking at here in the charts. If not, we need to see a bottom. I think that's the most important thing right now for Wish, that it finds a bottom, bounces off of it, and consolidates somewhere above it, and then slowly with time until the next catalyst or next information or trend actually pushes up Wish to newer highs. Now, if this stock starts moving back up, the first resistance level that can show a sign of strength is breaking through the highest point of the day, and that's 683, guys. 683 needs to be broken through, turn into a support so that the bulls can continue pushing up higher and get itself back up within this channel that has been broken through, guys, which was the new all-time lows that we saw down here in the 650s. It broke through that. It's slightly below it down here. It's trying to come back up, and it needs to get back up in this channel, consolidate, create that staircase effect, right? If you kind of want to just look at it in this direction or perspective, and then continue to go higher and reach newer highs and new resistance levels. I look forward to seeing your thoughts down below, how you feel about this, because I did state that this could retest all-time lows or possibly break through it in my previous videos, and way back when it was $10, way back when it was $8 and all that stuff. And a lot of investors challenged me, and I always said you guys can challenge me down below in the comments. I look forward to seeing your thoughts. So right now, I would like to challenge you guys. How do you feel? Do you think this is going towards 5, or are we going back towards 8 and continuing to push up higher beyond that from these levels, and that we found a bottom? So here we are with CLOV stock, Clover Health Investments, and this was a stock that, since I saw this barcoding here, which you don't normally see on a 30-minute, you usually see that on a 1-minute, you see it on a 5-minute, maybe even sometimes a 15-minute on a penny stock, but on a stock like this one at around $9 at that point, barcoding on the 30-minute, I saw it looking like weakness. We certainly saw that in the last several days, and here we are retesting newer lows. And the most important thing is the location that I had stated that this stock can end up at if it touches those levels, right? A lot of investors did not think this was possible. A lot of investors challenged me always in the comment section down below. And this is why it's so important to realize that watching these key levels are important and paying close attention to the charts, the history of the chart, and why it's possible, okay? It's always good to be aware of it. It's not to be a bear, but the first thing that I've stated many times here, that every time this ran, they were bull traps. There's investors right now that thought this could continue going higher every time this ran in these last several times, and these turned out to be bull traps because every time it jumped up, it came right back to that same level, right back to that same level, right back to that same level. Same thing here, right? Every single time. And those bull traps, I was not liking them. I'm pretty honest in my videos on the whole entire unbiased opinion and approach, and I'm really focusing in always on the charts. We came back to these levels, and since this bar coding here, I had stated that we could see weakness. We certainly saw it. And then we saw consolidation here, right? We were watching this and tracking this very carefully to see if there was strength and if it broke through the lows here of 795. And if it did, we were going to watch between 795, 780, which is the lowest point that we saw in the last several bearish moves and in this whole entire volatility here in sideways action, even though it sparked up to $9, almost $10 and coming back down. 780 was a key point to watch, 770. And if it broke through those levels, this could test 750. If it broke through 750 and did not come back up, it would actually go into further weakness, and this could start going towards $7, right? Or the low sevens. So we already broke through 750 and we hit a new low here in this sideways action and bearish run, right? After such a big squeeze here all the way up to $29, $28, this has came down to a new low here, and that was reached today at 742. And it's super important to be aware of these key levels because it is below 750. Now, it's trying to fight to stay above it. It's currently between 756, 760, give or take, but the stock right now is just slightly above 750. If it breaks through that, it's going to be important to watch the support level of 742 and how quickly is it heading towards $7. And if $7 gets broken through, the 52-week low is going to be the most important number here to let us know where CLOV is really heading and where the strength is, right? Because the 52-week low is 631. We're nowhere near that yet. I wouldn't really pay close attention to that just yet, but it is something to be aware of with how bearish the markets are looking and if things get more bearish than they already seem and are getting already in front of us, right? So super important. Now, the reason why this jumped after earnings is because the future growth projections, and that was getting priced in. There was a lot of hype and speculation, came back down to reality, and here we are testing new lows. So it is important to keep in mind the fact that there is potential here for this stock in the long run, right? Analysis price targets are still pointing to the upside, giving it a 10, 30, 20% jump from these levels, but we need to watch it very carefully. So we already know the supports, but what are the resistance to watch? Well, the first resistance that I would watch is right up here, 773. That can go ahead and show us where momentum is going. If that is turned into a support and pulled away from to the upside, the next point of reference would be the highest point of the day, which was 807. That will be significant for the bulls to actually break through to get themselves back into this channel here that we've seen the stock jump off of and go towards $9 and $10. As always, guys, if you found this video helpful and informative, please do so and subscribe. Don't forget to click on the bell so you don't miss a single video that I post. Share this with the friends so they can receive the insight as well. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.